I'm gonna be Wilson again. It's like, Heidi ho, neighborino. Make this one with a pair of underwear I have, and then there's a Hello Kitty poking her head out of one of them. It's super silly and super adorable at the same time. Oh, the cat has taken over my spot. Oh, hey, Gabby. Yeah. Hi, honey. guys are doing flippin' fantastic. I know I am. It is Monday night and my voice is coming back. Yes. Thank you, Shikamaru, for that fantastic 18-month sub. Thank you so much. Guys, I am bursting with energy tonight. I'm feeling better. and you know, I sound better. Yeah, I don't have the sexy voice anymore. I still feel a little groggy. I'm still a little coffee. I'm not sleeping very well, but I feel better. A day of rest was exactly what I needed. Yeah, semi-sexy. I mean, I'm always semi-sexy. But yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing, Purple? It's good to see you. I know it's late for all of us. But yeah, I am like super bursting with energy today. We've got another special interview with my friend TJ Wright for the Sprout Quilt Challenge. If anyone is interested in hooking up on the Sprout, I'll go ahead and put the link. It's in the chat. You guys can hit that link. Go sign up. We've got people signing up every day. Even though we just started week 2, we've gained like 100 people in the last week just because they're excited for what's going on. So make sure you hit that. You'll get the emails. You'll catch up really easy. We're doing these live streams, interviewing with the designers. We are doing community Zoom calls. We had one Thursday and Saturday. I absolutely loved it. I loved getting to hear from other people who are participating in Sprout all over the country, in other countries. I'm so excited. I'm really happy. The other thing, this was a little less expected and a little less timed, but it's still awesome. This will be the second year in a row. I'm sure you've noticed over there, the nice little box in the corner. I am sponsored yet again, second year in a row with HelloFresh. I'm really excited by that. I have a link for that too, that we will... There we go. You can hit that link or use my code. It'll be on the little box, wherever the box is. Go ahead and use that. You're going to get like 65% off of your first box. You get free breakfast for life for as long as you have the subscription box. All that other stuff. Honestly, I use HelloFresh. You know, guys, that I won't endorse anything that I don't use or that I don't trust or like. And you guys know me. I got kids. I am busy with quilting and business and everything. And I'm just always so tired of cooking. By the end of the day, I have no energy. Like, I have energy tonight, but that's special. Hey, Joe! Hey, Joe! I'm so glad you made it. But yeah, so if you guys want to get a good deal on HelloFresh, not have to worry about it, and not have to do takeout again, I'm kind of tired of takeout, honestly. The last month has been so busy. It's just been McDonald's and pizza and Chipotle. I'm like so over it, I'm telling you. But I'm excited. We're going to be doing it the whole month, so it won't be the first or the last time I'll be telling you guys about HelloFresh and all that good stuff. But why don't we go ahead and get right into it? My friend TJ is sitting on deck, so we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. Hey, TJ.
Hi.
We got Joe, we got Lori, and Ash, and Chikamaru. We got all sorts of people here tonight, just coming in to say hi and to hear from you. So welcome to the stream.
Gosh.
This isn't your first rodeo, though. This is your second time on the stream. Ash says hi.
I'm alumni.
You're an alumni. You're an alumni streamer, okay? We're here for real. Hey, speaking of alumni and all that stuff, H&H is coming up. Are you gonna come and be on my stream at H&H?
I am. I'm planning on it, yeah. I just need to book all my stuff, but yeah, I'm there. You
haven't booked yet? I booked my flight. I haven't booked a hotel or anything. I think I'm rooming with Amanda this time around.
But the other thing that TJ is a part of, because TJ knows all the people and is getting in with all the things, because she's just cool like that. She's hooked up, chat. Okay. You were on the board for H&H this year, aren't you?
I am.
Can you?
I know all the insight.
Yeah.
I cannot share. They have secrets. I know. But I will tell you that everything goes live, I think, in February 1st.
Okay, I was wondering about that. I was going to reach out to Darren because I know they're going to have the Creator Studio again. They have that on their website. But there's nowhere where it says when signups for the Creator booth are opening. So I'm kind of like itching a little bit to like get in there because I know I hyped it up a lot last year. Some of the people who were actually using it last year, they're all excited. And so I know there's going to be more competition. So I highly doubt we're going to get in every single day this year. But I still want to be able to get in at least a little bit, right?
Yeah. He is so approachable. I would just suggest send him an email and even I know that he was traveling this afternoon.
Okay.
So he might be at something, but
maybe I'll wait till Wednesday and I'll reach out. But yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't hear, don't be afraid to knock on his door again because he's just such a friendly, kind, approachable person.
Well, and you know it's so funny because like it's a very interesting dynamic, and I know we're not talking about the blocks yet, and we'll get to that. But I find it very interesting how the dynamic of talking with someone when you first start with email and you kind of have like that business barrier, you know what I mean? But then, and then even at the show, like he was like the guy for H&H. So like I got to see him for like 2 seconds and I felt so bad because the only thing that I got to say was, hey, there's a problem, right? I didn't get to tell him, hey, this is awesome or thank you or any, right? That was, like that was H&H. But then we went to market and they had that special H&H dinner and man, he was just the sweetest guy and like so complimentary and like it kind of like made me feel like really like okay, I'm seen. I feel seen and that's important, right? Yeah.
I will tell you one insight thing that I can tell you is that there will be an H&H dinner that people can attend.
Okay.
And I know that they're planning a keynote speaker and icebreakers, and it'll be great.
I'm excited.
I'm a huge fan of H&H. It really catapulted my career as a quilt pattern writer and opened up so many doors. And so,
I mean, honestly,
and I got to meet you.
I know,
and
I
got to meet you in person.
I know.
Like physically touch you.
I know, and I still have the coin bag. Okay, anyone who watched the stream knows that TJ likes to say that I'm awesome, and I'm not very comfortable with it. I am more accepting.
Amazing.
Okay, amazing. All right,
it's amazing.
Synonyms. And I was very uncomfortable. Still kind of uncomfortable. But she gave me a bag of quarters at H&H during the stream because it was her swear jar, and it's like. I see you. Touche.
I have another bag of quarters to bring to Chicago in May.
You can buy me a Starbucks.
I probably need to buy you dinner because I say that you're amazing so much. It's probably a dinner.
You can buy me a water. Water in Chicago, $10 for a bottle of water. You can buy me a water. You're right, Chica. Meeting people in person is the best. There's nothing like it. Yeah.
But Meg from So Simply Meg.
Yep.
She gave me a really great tip. Is that you do? Is it DoorDash or something like that? Where you go on Target and you order your water and have it brought to your hotel for way cheaper.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's true. The thing is like with Uber and DoorDash, you're paying for the delivery, right? That's where you're getting like shaped.
But at $10 for a liter of
You're
water,
not
that's just
wrong.
crazy. Yeah, like no. Yeah, we're not doing that.
No. Mm-mm. That's a little extreme. I will agree. That's pretty smart. Meg's got it all put together. But
yeah, she does.
But I really should get to the meat and potatoes of why you're even here tonight. Not just because you're my friend and you're awesome and I love having you on. But you are this is week 2 for Sprout, guys. And you are one of the designers featured this week. And the stream you guys see, the block is called Curved Dreams. And there are five blocks, right? To this, to your section, right? Now, I am not a curve piecer at all. So I'm really excited for this block because I need to master curves. What made you want to do curves for your block?
Well, when we were talking about doing Sprout, I was in the process of designing a quilt that was all curves. And I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm going to do some curves. That's a great skill builder for somebody to learn. And it doesn't have to be hard.
That's true.
And, some of the blocks that the designers created maybe take a little bit more time. And mine is just a easy peasy, let's learn how to do curves. And so I went with that. And it's really inspired me. I have another quilt idea based on what I created for Sprout.
I'm excited.
I don't know when it will happen, but there's lots of inspiration.
It's on the to-do list, right? Well, and
yeah,
it's so funny that you say that. It's so easy and like quick kind of thing. Because like to me, I see that and like my anxiety shoots out of the room. Like curves just feel so intimidating.
But I did when you download the pattern, there's a QR code and you scan that, and I did a whole video.
You did.
I have something funny to tell you about the video though.
QR code,
so
guys.
I was trying to
go for it.
So I was trying to do the closed captioning for people who are hearing impaired.
Yes.
And so I did the closed captioning and I'm reading it, and every time I said the word seam, it changed it to sexy.
Are you kidding? Oh my.
I'm like, I said to my husband, I gotta take this off because every time I say the word seam, it thinks I'm saying sexy.
That is so bad. So what did you change it to?
I tried to edit it to seam, but I couldn't figure out how to change it in the captioning, so there's no captions on the video because I didn't want it to say sexy.
Well, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that curves, because I have closed captioning for the stream and I have to turn it on manually every time. So I went and did that. So I'm kind of keeping half an eye to see if they translate seem to stream or sexy and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, now this closed captioning is doing pretty good. So I don't know what YouTube is on. That's kind of funny. Goodness gracious.
I know. We're always learning so much new tech and what have you, and it's always such a lift. And I just decided that I didn't want it to say sexy, so I just took it off.
I mean, you would have gotten the hits. It just probably wouldn't have been for what you wanted it to, right?
I know.
Oh my goodness.
My sexy curves.
Hey, you know what? It would have fit. Instead of curved dreams, we got sexy curved dreams, right?
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't say that. I'm gonna get knocked for like triple X right there. Oh my goodness gracious. So you have been designing for over a year now, and you've been putting your work into the world. And you were talking about it a little bit before stream. You just hit a huge milestone. You want to share with chat what you just finished doing?
Yeah. So I went to print today on 5 patterns. I kind of have a theory, go big or go home. And so, a lot of people will do like 1 or 2.
Mhm.
I did 5. And that was a huge, heavy lift, working with the printer. And I actually went to the printing facility. It was ginormous,
'Cause you're working
warehouse type
local.
space. And I stayed local, yeah. Mainly because I wanted to create a relationship with these folks,
Right.
and I wanted to touch the paper. I wanted to meet the people that I was gonna be working with,
Yeah.
and cost wise, I think it's gonna end up working about the same. If I had gone cross country, I would have had to pay for shipping on them, that sort of thing. But it was amazing to go into the operation and see like the differences between the digital printing and the offset printing and how they staple a book together. You think they have like a stapler.
Yeah.
It isn't a stapler. It's wire on a reel.
Really?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you take footage? Because I'm hoping you're gonna have like some good Instagram reels for me to look. Because I'm nosy. I'm nosy. I gotta know.
I I did take some video of them printing a booklet. Yeah.
That's so
They
cool.
do stickers. It was just amazing what they could do, and I got to meet a lot of the different people, and yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've really tried to go local because I've been printing for a little bit now, but like everyone around me was so expensive, and they weren't really like the mom and pop local kind of shops, right? Because I'm outside of Denver, so like there's a lot of industry, but I just haven't found the right place because everywhere's so much more expensive, and right now cost is so much. I can't afford to. Like,
I know. And I was really sensitive to cost, and I talked to them about that, what the industry standard is and how can we get this to a place that I can work with you.
Right.
So there was that.
They were able to work with you, or they were kind of hard set on their stuff?
I felt like they were reasonable, and I think also as I build a relationship with them and I do more work with them, that will help. And of course, it's, what kind of capital investment you can make in your pattern up front, because the more you order, the less expensive it is.
So are you doing a big order right out the gate? Because like, I think the most I did on my first order was 50. And even that was like a lot for me.
Yeah. So I did 100 on each pattern.
Wow.
And I can already tell there's a couple that are probably going to sell out pretty quick.
That's awesome though.
Just the feedback that I've gotten. I went into a local quilt store. I was looking for some fabric so that I could create some content around the patterns.
Yeah.
A lot of them were done by sponsored fabric with Hoffman Fabrics,
Right.
and they actually have the quilts, and so I wanted to be able to create more content for these.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pick up some fabric. So I had my markups, and basically what a markup is just the printed out,
like a PDF style.
But it's just a blank page,
Right.
just so that you can kind of see. And I had my markups there, and I minded my own business, and it was a great conversation starter. And I could already tell within that store the people that were gravitating towards certain patterns more than others.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So are you planning on because I know we've kind of touched base on this in our group, but like the idea, are you gonna sell physical printed patterns out of your website, out of your store?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Yes, I am. And I have also set up a wholesale side as well for people who have brick and mortar stores that want to carry the patterns.
That
They
is so
can
smart.
order directly. And then I will also be offering PDF, but the PDFs will be the same price as the printed version.
Okay.
And those will probably be going up on my website probably next week.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be getting my booklets back on Monday.
That's exciting.
So they'll be available to be shipped
That's exciting.
out on Monday.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. I know.
Yay.
Well, you're so amazing. You've been doing it. You are so inspiring. What are you doing?
I think you're full of it. But I appreciate the positive feedback and yeah, I'll swallow the positivity, okay?
You should.
Oh my goodness.
You should, because I mean, you set a high bar for us, so
I didn't even do it on purpose, man. You know, that was all serendipitous, man. It all happens the way it's meant to. You know, that's
right.
That is true story right there. So,
well, I was even saying on Sunday we had a little we get together, our Quilt Designers Collective gets together and has little chats, and we motivate each other and stuff.
I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
Oh, we missed you too, but you needed your rest.
I did.
But I was talking about the printing process, and the one thing that I said was, you know, the universe sends us what we are supposed to have when we're ready.
Yeah.
And a year ago, I was really hoping that I would be where I was today, but I didn't have the foundation underneath me yet.
Right.
And but here I am a year later, and I'm going to print on 5 patterns. And
that's so cool.
I don't know that I could have that I would have had the grit and determination to see it through a year ago the way that I have this time.
Because you've been grinding.
There has been, yeah.
Jesus.
But when I sent it off, and then he sent the proofs back to me, there was one L missing from the word quilt. I'm just like, but that can be fixed.
Easy, yeah.
And we approved everything, and then I'm like, okay, so what am I gonna do now?
You're ready for the next 5 now.
Yeah. So you know what I did?
What?
You're gonna die when you hear this.
Oh no, I gotta know.
So typical TJ, right?
Yeah.
Because I'll just take off on another chair.
Yes.
And I WhatsApped my contact at Valdani Thread. It said, we need to chat about H&H so that I can get off on my Stitchscapes terror again. And she got back to me. We'll be talking next week.
Oh my gosh, I love your Stitchscapes. I've got mine somewhere around here. I absolutely love doing mine. It was so nice to do after. So you guys, if you guys don't know, TJ does these amazing, because she's an amazing art quilter, not just like a regular quilt designer, but she does these miniature Stitchscapes, and they're just perfect for getting, because you include everything in your kit. You include found objects, and they have a very beachy sense to them, a lot of them. I got the blue teal one, because you guys know I love teal. And so there was some really beautiful beach glass and some really beautiful like beach twigs and just all kinds of fun found
starfish.
Objects. Yes, and the starfish.
A little miniature starfish.
Yeah, it's so cute and little, and I just went to town. Like you had all these different stitches, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull out, because I have the Sue Spargo's like stitch guide, so I pulled that out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do some rosettes, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, I kind of went overboard. That's okay. It feels so good. I want to do a triad, so I need to get 2 more at some point from you, and that way I can hang them and do a triad. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and the kits also come with a QR code, that you scan, and there's a tutorial on how to do them with really basic stitches. So even if you're not an experienced hand stitcher, it lends itself to anybody who can thread a needle.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it.
Seriously, it's that simple.
You could write a book about your stitchscapes.
On what?
On stitchscapes. Because, like, you're doing these kits, but we've talked about how you can use other found objects and stuff like that. So wouldn't that be great to do a book and, like, have all these different ones with, like, keys or whatever, you know, and just... Even, like, these little scissor snips, I could do that on there. That'd be fun.
Right. You know, one of my things is what about those little trinkets that you have in, you know, in your junk drawer that you picked up, you know, like a cool rock that you found when you were on a hike with your family, or maybe in the old, you know, 30 years ago when people actually used an actual pin. It wasn't a disposable pin. You know, what if you had like a memento from a loved one that was their writing pen, or even a card that has a loved one's signature on it?
That'd be special.
I just think that there's so many unique ways to memorialize events in our lives and have it on display.
Yeah.
You know, I could just see walking down a hallway and, you know, seeing your mom or dad's signature, and, you know, whether they're with you or not, it, you know, it just invokes love and comfort. Like, yeah.
Some of the things that pop into my head are like your grandmother's thimble, right? That kind of thing. Or like, a lot of people, see, I'm not a big keeper of things or anything like that. And like with my kids, for example, I know a lot of people will get like save their baby shoes or do this or that, but like the idea of like the signature of your parent, what about like the ink footprints of your child? Like having that, you know what I mean? There are so many different possibilities, and like you could just spend a lifetime expounding on that. I love that idea, TJ. It just tugs at my heartstrings. It really does.
Well, it's kind of interesting. It just kind of found me. I just happened upon it. I started doing these little art pieces to put in a gallery at a winery by my house. And I was showing them to people, and they're like, you should make a kit out of that.
Yeah.
You should do that.
You should do big one. You should do like a big one.
I have some. Well, you saw that one that I had at H&H.
I know.
In the Valdani booth.
But like a big one. Like, man, that'd be cool. A big one. You know, something like a 20 by 30 or something. Oh man, I'm so
excited. It's all possible. Just takes it's just time.
It is.
It's just
That's
time,
the thing. It's
right?
like I could like throw all these ideas at you, but like at the end of the day, you know, where are we gonna pull the time out of our rears, right? Because it doesn't happen. Oh man.
No. I know. And today I indulged myself and started working on Susan's English.
I have mine too. I've got mine too. They're sitting here. I haven't finished cutting all of the block out, but I have the smaller block, and I have to baste it. Are you glue basting or are you thread basting?
Well, what I did was I put a little dollop of glue on the cardstock and pressed it down in the center, and then I actually thread basted.
You do it the same way I do. I thread baste around the rim. I can't stand glue basting the fabric down onto the backs of the pieces. But that'll probably be a tangent I go off on Susan on when she's here on Wednesday.
I just think this keeps it really crisp, and I wanted to be able to get those papers out, you know, and be able to reuse them.
Well, and I hate having the fabric like have the residue of the paper if it's too strong.
Yeah.
Oh. Little one's coming in to say goodnight real quick. She's home from
Aw.
her break. It's so nice to have her home.
Aw.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
I for Christmas, we kind of like, we told each other, I don't know about you and Chuck, but that's his name, right? I feel like I'm okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, that's right.
I did good. My goldfish brain did good for once. But
Yeah, no, it is.
Ash and I told each other that we weren't gonna get anything for Christmas for each other, and that worked out so well. But we wanted to focus on the kids, and I got Little Bug a board game called Flamecraft, and it's this adorable little game of like little dragons that are like little helpers in little shops, like tailoring shops and bakeries and all that kind of stuff. And it's so cute, and it's, oh my gosh, I'll have to bring it to H&H and we can play. Not that we have time to play a board game, but like it's so sweet. And yeah, so that was kind of like our big to do on our second Christmas. But what do you, Chuck, do? Like, do you guys have any special Christmas traditions?
Yeah, so my husband is retired now, but he was an emergency professional.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes he worked on the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And he works first watch, so he wasn't home on Christmas morning. And so our tradition is to do our Christmas on Christmas Eve because he usually was home in the evenings. And so we celebrated then. So my tradition on Christmas Day generally, because I would be by myself, and don't feel bad for me, that was my choice.
Right.
I would do things like clean the oven.
That's like the last thing I want to do on Christmas. Oh my goodness.
Well, but it was like the perfect time to do that,
Well, and you were trying to distract yourself, right? From being alone on Christmas.
I mean, at the time we lived in a neighborhood, and so you would see people come gathering at their houses and stuff, and here you are. And it's like, how do you keep yourself out of that rabbit hole? Well, you clean the oven.
You can't really think if you got your head in the oven, right? Oh my goodness gracious gravy.
So, but seriously, I have sewn, knitted, I've spun, I have a loom, I've woven. I'm not trying to brag, but I like to do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, if I wasn't cleaning an oven, I was knitting a sweater or
keeping yourself busy.
Making a quilt or whatever, because that's just my makeup. I love to learn new things. I love fabric. I love fiber, and yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think that's kind of the thing about being a crafter is you jump from craft to craft. You may stick with a craft for like a year, 6 months, 3 years, but typically you jump from craft to craft. And I don't know about you, but when I landed on quilting, I haven't jumped to a different craft. Like I kind of landed here, and I'm pretty secure and stable, like where I'm sitting.
Well, also, you're really good at it. And you get a lot of positive feedback about it. And it's the same way with me.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that are doing like these really amazing show quilts and what have you. I'm an art quilter. I like some precision, and that's important, but some of these people just take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But it's like doing this English paper piecing. I've done a little bit in the past, and I'm really enjoying having a little cocktail of it.
Yeah,
we'll say.
I like that.
It's
a nice little cocktail.
It's not my daily drink.
Right.
I don't drink this daily, but I do like to have a little taste of it every once in a while.
Let me tell you, all right, this is my cocktail, but I've got like 20 different cocktails of English paper piecing sitting around my room, and some are like big tankards, and I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm a little drunk on English paper piecing.
Yeah, you might have a problem.
Just a little. No, my problem is I'm a UFO-aholic. I think next time I do like a project or something, because I know like some of us want to do like block of the months and stuff down the road, but like for me, what keeps itching at the back of my brain is like a UFO buster. Like, because I have so many of them. And, like, they're not all my patterns. They're everybody else's patterns, but I gotta get them done. And it's just,
Well, some of them are my patterns. Some of them are mine. Like, I will test a quilt pattern, and so then I get this buildup of tops that need to be quilted. And then the thing of it is when you're at the long arm, you can't watch Netflix. So then I'm like,
that's if you don't have a computer, I suppose. If you're doing free motion the whole time, right? Because you don't do edge to edge. You're doing free motion, like hand.
Yeah, I don't have the fancy computer and that sort of thing. So yeah. But these help because then if I can get a book on tape or a book on audio, I'll stay in it longer. But like I like to sit and watch The Crown, and I'll binge watch something while I am putting together something.
Yeah.
If I'm not talking to you people on Discord.
Right. I mean, honestly, that's kind of how I started with Twitch. Like when I first found Twitch and I was just learning how to quilt and stuff, and my first child was like at like the 3-year-old stage and was napping all the time, right? And yeah, I would sit in my little baby studio, which was like part of my attic, and I would watch Twitch, watch people game, and just sew. And I still do that, like when I'm working on patterns and stuff. I'll turn a streamer on or something, because it's nice to kind of hear. Like I don't necessarily want to watch a show, because I don't want to get too invested. Because like if I'm watching a show, I'm like really focused and like my hands stop. And if my hands stop, I'm not being productive, and that's game over.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the thing I like about something like this is I can take this downstairs and watch a show with my husband and kind of have a dog in my lap. I have this my golden doodle. He loves to touch. And if he doesn't get time in the chair with you every day,
then he's upset.
It's a bad doodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an update. A bad doodle day.
A bad doodle day. I like that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So his name is Getty, and he's named after the Getty Museum.
Ooh.
Because it's one of my favorite places.
Nice.
And he started out black. But he has ombre front legs, so they go from really light silver on his paws now and ombre up into darker on his shoulder.
That sounds beautiful.
He's adorable. He's my sweet boy.
Aww.
He's my sweet boy.
Aww.
Yeah. He doesn't bark. He grunts at me.
He grunts at you. Hey.
He doesn't cry.
I'm gonna try and say your name. Tosnik. Oh my god, I can't say words at all. But thank you so much for your subscription with Prime. I appreciate you. If you can tell me how to pronounce your name, I would really super appreciate it. Man, I am the worst when it comes to like remembering people's names and pronouncing people's names. Like forget it. Oh man.
Years ago in my career, when I live in a university town, and we would see people from the university, and they would come in and they would be from all over the world, and I wouldn't know how to pronounce their name. And so whenever I was in that situation, I just go, hi!
Yeah, can I tell you, I'm going to confess right now, half of the people that I met at H&H that I saw then again at Quilt Market, I didn't remember their names at all, and I felt so bad because like they remembered mine, and that caught me off guard because I assume if I can't remember somebody's name, then they're not gonna remember mine, right? It's Tasanaki. Is that right? Did I do it right? Tasanaki. That's a really pretty name. I like your handle. I love people's creativity with their handles. Like it makes me so happy because I feel like I know that Twitch is new to a lot of quilters and a lot of people in our community. Yeah. Oh, yes, I did it. Now if I can remember the next time I see your name to actually pronounce it right, I'll be golden. But I know that for so many people in the quilting community, it's my real first name. Are we supposed to be doing that? I was just gonna touch on that. So for the quilting community, I assume you're from the quilting community, Tasanaki. If not, that's good too. But like so many older school, they don't understand the idea of having a handle, right? Yes, you're from the community. Oh, I love it. I love when a quilting person comes over to the stream. But the idea, like, for me, my real name is Sandra, right? So going to Sandrasa, it might not seem like a really big jump, right? But for me, that was like my first World of Warcraft, which is a video game for anyone who's not like super nerdy. It's a game, and Sandrasa was my first character's name. So that was like my new group of friends, my new nerdy friends that I bonded with over video games and stuff. That's what they knew me as, because that was the name I was using in all my video games. And it just kind of stuck. So like now, going out into the world and somebody using my regular name feels weird. Because like everybody it's like a nickname you've had since you were a kid, right? You hear it so long, it sticks. And so for me, like your handle, when you can choose your handle, whether it's in a video game or here or on Instagram or whatever, that kind of is like your personification of who you want to be, of who you're portraying, like whether I'm being a character or authentic to myself, right? So I always find that really interesting.
Well, what do you think my first name is?
I have no idea. I know you've told me. I know I've heard your first name, but I have no idea.
Well, my real name is Tanya. My middle name is Joe.
Tanya Joe.
And I have an unusual spelling. It's Tania. I always know if the person knows me because they will mispronounce it based on the spelling. So, because of Shania, then they started calling me Tanaya.
Oh.
Because it's the same. And before that, it was Tanya. First day of school every year. Tanya? No, it's Tanya.
You know what's funny is like when you go to Starbucks and stuff and you like, they ask for your name and I say Sandra, they always spell it S-A-U. Like it's Sandra or Sanandra or whatever. It's like, okay, all right. Because I was called Sandra my whole like childhood. It was so annoying.
You're not a Sandra.
I am not a Sandy. No.
No.
No grease lightning here. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
You might be salty.
Oh man, I am a sassy, salty bitch. Okay, that's what we got here. Thank you.
When we were in Houston, we went to Starbucks and I was DJ.
You were
not
DJ.
DJ.
Oh, man, I feel like they do it on purpose sometimes. They're like, just, Sandy, don't you call me Sandy? Well, you can call me Sandy, I suppose, Oshemi. Oh, you ever want to get really into a good tangent? You gotta ask Oshemi what his middle name is and how to pronounce it. Because even though I've been with him for like 4 or 5 years now, I still can't quite remember how to say his middle name or even how to spell it. I'm not gonna shush. Because it's such an interesting, because it's like not like a regular name. His parents combined the granddad of each side to make the middle name. Mm-hmm. So it's like a pseudo name kind of thing. It's weird. Yeah. Little known fact about Oshemi, he actually, I call him a Nigerian prince because his dad comes from a line of Nigerian missionaries. Like 4 generations of Nigerian missionaries that are still out there, still like running their mission. Yeah.
Oh. Trivia. Oshemi trivia. Yeah, we're gonna pull that up next charade night. I can hear him in the back room going.
I love giving him a hard time. It's always fun. Well,
Yeah.
see, now I'm trying to say your name again and I can't do it. To Sunny. Man, I'm just gonna call you Sunny. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Thank you for coming by the stream. Are you new to Twitch, or are you like a Twitch veteran? Sananki. Oh man, I feel so bad. I'm the worst, TJ. I am professional streamer and the
I've
worst.
lost it already. In my mind, I remember how you said it, but I can't make it come out of my mouth.
You're not super new to Twitch. Okay, cool. Sweet. How long have you been a quilter, Sunny? I'm sorry if that offends you that I'm calling you that. I apologize. I am the worst. I will take my badge of dishonor. Oh man, my throat. So TJ, how do you feel like Sprout is going so far? Because we're in week 2 now.
I think it's amazing. And I love that map that Joe did, where it's showing the people, the Zoom call. Like, if you guys, anybody who's here, go to those Zooms. They are so fun. We learned about fried Cheerios the other night.
Yeah, like buttered Cheerios. I've never heard of those before. Like, I get Chex Mix, but like buttered Cheerios? Like, really?
He called them mini donuts.
I mean, that makes sense.
I think.
I mean, like, they have the frosted Cheerios. Like, just do the vanilla frosted Cheerios and you got mini donuts. You've been quilting solidly for 23 years? Holy moly.
Wow.
So you've been around the quilt block a couple times there.
He's legit.
Like, are you taking part in Sprout, or are you just like hanging out on Twitch and saw us talking? I'm nosy. Hello, my name is Sandrasa. I am self-proclaimed nosy, and I do not apologize for it. Thank you.
And don't forget, she's salty too. She's salty.
I am a salty saucy. I've been around the online / modern quilt world for quite a while. I remember way back when we were doing swaps organized on Flickr. That's so cool. That's how you make Chex Mix. I mean, yeah, but like, there's more to Chex Mix than it. Just Cheerios didn't seem like the normal thing for me to do. I'm not a creeper, but I think I found your blog. Oh, Sunny's blog? She's got a blog? Oh, I'm nosy now. I don't remember when I started following you and then I saw you were live. Well, welcome. I'm so glad that you've been following. Okay, here's something that's kind of like a big drop. I've been streaming on Twitch now for over 7 years. Can you believe that? It doesn't feel that way. I am not legit. I am the worst streamer in the world. Like, let's take 3 or 4 years off, and then let's not stream consistently for like 5 of those years, and yeah, we've got it. Yeah, it hasn't been updated in a long time. Oh. I think all of us are kind of in that boat where we do blogs, but we don't do them consistently, huh, TJ? I sent you a blog and you haven't even posted it yet. I'm gonna blog shame you.
I know. Okay, go. I deserve it. I deserve it. I take it.
You don't deserve it. You're such a dork.
No, shame. No, bring the shame, because, like, yeah, I do.
You've been writing 5 damn patterns, okay? There is, like, no shame. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I need some grace.
I'll give you all the grace here. You get all the grace, because you're amazing. Miss Fearless Leader over here. You had a podcast for a couple of years, and I used to be great at the website blog thing. Holy All right, Oshemi, DM me. I need this link. I need to check this out. I am nosy, and I gotta look. I gotta see what the... We got... It looks like we sounds like we have a celebrity here in our stream right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna be nosy and take a look. Welcome to the stream. I'm happy
This is so exciting.
I know. That's what I love about Twitch is like you'd be surprised because I know the big talk the last couple of like business quilt Zoom calls that I've been in on, somebody asked me, I'm not going to name drop, but somebody big asked me about Twitch. And I was kind of caught off guard because it was like, you know when you get to read the room, right? And there were a couple of big time YouTube quilters, like quilt celebrity kind of thing, right? And I know their feelings about Twitch, right? And how they're focused on YouTube, and that's where the real money is, and that's where, right? So like, it was one of those things where I'm just like, oh, yeah, I love Twitch. I'm more than happy to talk to you privately if you want, and you know, that kind of thing. Because as soon as I because I knew as soon as I said anything, the person that was leading the talk kind of turned the whole conversation around. And Stitch was there. She can tell you. She pointed it out to me. She's like, did you notice how the whole conversation turned back around to the person? I'm like, I know. It's okay. But like, the whole idea that a lot of people have is like, oh, well, the quilty community is old and they don't like new technology, so they're not going to want to do Twitch. They're going to do YouTube. But I will tell you I'll tell you why. I remember when YouTube started and a lot of the quilting community kind of snubbed their nose at it. Like, oh, this is a young person's thing, da-da-da-da-da. And then Missouri Star came on the scene and actually like utilized it, and then it became the it thing. Like, don't tell me that our quilting community is too old to learn new technology. A lot of these people who are in their 60s that are like the main target audience, if you want to call it that, right? Our main customer base as a quilty designer, okay, my mom is that age. They were the ones who were first like getting their hands on computers. My mom taught me how to use a computer. She taught me how to play video games. Like, she may not be as technologically like in the know now as she was back when she was younger, but she can do it. She can adapt, right? The quilting community, people are much more adaptive than we give them credit for. If you have enough reason for people to come and interact and be a part of the community, they're gonna do it. Like, look at Mary Fawns. She's over here. She's streaming. She talks about quilt history. Like, that's her thing. She loves it. I don't know if you've caught her streams, but she like digs into it deep. I know I sat in once on one of her streams, and she was talking about the Great Dust Bowl during the Great Depression, and how quilters were using them as like doors and covers for the windows to keep the dust out, and how like you know how. Preach, sister. Yeah. Shemi. All right, listen. I know I'm on my soapbox. I get it. I'm coming down off my soapbox. I'm okay.
Don't trip.
Oh man, shit. I had to buy a cane the other day. I was so mad. Yeah, I don't know if
Why?
Because of market.
Barefoot?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't needed to use it for a couple weeks, but yeah, there was a little bit of time there where I was walking around with that damn cane. I was so angry too. I was like, I'm too young for this fucking thing. And it's like, oh, I'm really
take
close
care
to
of your
40.
feet.
I know.
I take care of your feet. Take it from somebody who has stood in her career for over 35 years.
Man, I don't know. Oh shit. Oops. I forgot that I'm broadcasting you through OBS on Discord, and I went to go look at the link that Luke gave me for Sunny, and yeah. Oh boy, I am professional. But he did. Oh, I'm being nosy now, TJ.
Okay. Be nosy.
Oh, I am nosy. Oh, she builds Legos too? Oh my gosh. Okay, I love this.
You might have yourself a new bestie quilty.
Oh my gosh, are you
Lego-y
kidding? Yes,
person.
I just followed her. I will give you her information later. I love Lego.
Okay.
I am such a big Lego whore.
Don't you think that Lego and quilting kind of go hand in hand?
I mean,
that whole assembly and everything. The two are very connected.
I love this one. I have always in the background, but this is one of my favorites. I didn't actually get to build this one. Luke built it, and it's based off of a video game. But every time I build something, it doesn't matter how big or small it is. You'll always catch me saying, "How fucking clever is that? How brilliant was that?" Yeah, that's our midlife crisis. Okay, listen, yes. Lego is our midlife crisis. Forget motorcycles. It's Lego. Lego is so expensive. But you know what surprises me? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Luke got the Hulk Buster. I don't know if you know what that is, TJ. It's based off of a Marvel movie. Yeah, it's a big boy, okay? It was over $600 for this Lego set. And that's not even the biggest one he's made. Or the most expensive one he's made. Like, we have a Millennium Falcon that we got off of Etsy or eBay, I think. And I think I paid $1,200 for it a couple years ago. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who knew? Well, here's some trivia.
Ooh. Give it to me.
My husband grew up with a guy named John. They grew up kind of like brothers. They went into the Air Force together and what have you.
Yeah.
And he did all the pyrotechnics for the Marvel franchise.
That is so cool. I love that. It's just so freaking clever.
Huh? Who knew that my husband would be connected to a person like that?
Right? Like, holy shit. It really is a smaller world when you think about it. Like,
it is.
Yeah, but what surprises me is there's a thing with Lego called Lego Ideas, where fans can build their own sets and they submit it to a website and people vote on it. And if your Lego set idea gets over 10,000 votes, it goes on to like the next round, right? And so eventually these sets get voted and they are made into official Lego sets, which is really awesome. So you'll get things like the baby grand piano and like the
Is it full size?
No, not full size.
Is it full size?
It's not full size. But what surprises me is nobody has done a sewing machine, like an official Lego Idea sewing machine. Like, could you imagine a classic Singer machine? And
you gotta do that. Like, do not passcode, do not collect $200.
Alright guys, I'm giving up quilting design. I'm going to the Legos. I'll see you next year. No, I mean, like, seriously though, it'd be really freaking cool. Because they have the technology to make these things work. So could you imagine like an actual like old school Singer sewing machine made out of Lego with an up and down needle?
Can you do that? Could you do that before H&H? Remember that woman that was carrying around that bedazzled sewing machine that had all the Swarovski crystals?
All right, Luke, we gotta go order a bunch of Legos. We're gonna need to spend the next 3 months just building Lego. Man, that would be such like the perfect nerdy thing for me to have. Is there a Lego Idea? I think we just linked something. Hold on. Is there? Oh my gosh, there is. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh, when was this? This was last updated 3 years ago. It's not an official set. It didn't make it past. Man, now I've got to build on that idea. Oh, and it shows the inside workers.
What if you did it and then you splashed it all over H&H?
I really could. I could take that around. And let's forget Singer. Let's make a modern looking one. Like, I could make a Janome or something because that's what my machine is. Man, the branding on that, they'd love me. They would love me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, look, that's what our goal is. We're going down a rabbit hole here.
We did.
The gingerbread house and the alpine house.
Is anybody in the chat asking any questions?
We're talking about Legos in the chat. Yeah, we're going on Lego.
Are we just so entertaining that they're like, this is like comedy hour?
I mean, everybody, we've got an engaged chat, so that's like really important. So, and we've got a pretty good crowd tonight. I'm really happy with the amount of people we have showing up for our interview streams. The year is starting out very well, and I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm super hyped. But you know, I love having you on the stream. I know it's not always the most entertaining, and I know it can be a little awkward, but I always love having you around, and I love our chats because, you know, honestly, so TJ and I met through a pattern course that we both took. Not the same year. TJ was the mentor the year I took it. And I gotta say, I was so excited when I found out that you were an art quilter. Because, like, I wasn't sure what kind of art quilts you made or anything like that when, like, I was first showing up for our first meeting. And I showed up early. I was so excited to talk to you. And, like, because you don't see many art quilters in, like, the designing sphere as much, right? It's a very, very small niche. Because usually with an art quilter, it's like, all right, I'm going to do this one thing, put it in a show or a gallery, and then move on. I'm not going to write a pattern about it, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I have a very strong feeling of the universe provides us with what we need, and things happen for a reason. So, like, the fact that you were put on my path, and, you know, our friendship has gone from a mentor, like, you're the lead and I'm the student, to, like, a peer friend, you know what I mean? And, like, I'm just so happy about that and so thankful for that. Because, you know, in the quilty design realm, and just, like, in business in general, it is a very lonely road. It really is.
It is wonderful to have the community, and I just was so blessed. I mentored 2 groups, and then there were a couple people that dropped, and, you know, for whatever reason, but we brought the 2 groups together, and it's just such a cohesive space. It is a place where if one person rises, we all rise. It's, you know, it is truly a gift, a blessing, and something that I treasure, the friendships and connections that I made because I did mentor. So I have learned so much from everybody in the group. And I look forward to learning even more. So yeah, I'm grateful for you because I have learned a lot from you. Stop it. And because there's certain tech things that you're just like, oh, well, that's not a problem. You just do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't get it.
To be fair, like, how long I haven't understood things, like, anyone who was at the stream on Friday and last Monday, you know, we had that whistle going on with my mic, and I didn't know how to fix it. That's not my thing. Osh sat down and he fixed it in like a couple minutes because he actually sat down and like looked at my settings. And I'm like, I would have not known the first place to look for that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I taught myself OBS and I taught myself how to do all this stuff to begin with, but there's a lot in the world to know and to learn, and it's just impossible to know everything, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's just like anything. You start on this trajectory and it's kind of a low plane, and you get to a certain place and then you do this. And the learning comes quicker and the curve goes higher. And in some places I'm
At
really
that point, yeah.
Yeah, but in other places, because it's just not been a focus for me, I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it's all about. You just can't be afraid to learn.
Well, and I think one of the great things that I personally have come out with the Sprout Quilt Challenge, and not just because we've designed this amazing quilt and people are being so responsive. Like I wasn't sure when we first launched how it was gonna go and how people were gonna feel, and like, but the response has been great. People are actually generally liking the blocks and liking what we're doing, and that just it feels so good. But there were a lot of things that I was very uncomfortable with. Like I'm heading up the group that is doing email, and so for me, I was not comfortable with Flowdesk, which is the platform we're using. And I didn't have the first idea of what the hell I was doing. But I pushed because we needed to do it. And the person we had assigned couldn't because she already had 2 accounts and all that other stuff. So I had to step up and I had to learn it. And I'm so glad I did, because now I have those skills, right? It's like...
You're doing an amazing job. Oh my God. Yeah. I want to pick your brain about that. I think that there's whatever I would have liked to, and hopefully there'll be more, be able to sit in on some of those sessions, because you'll just learn so much by watching people do it, you know?
Yeah, well, and like Canva. I know that you and I really have used Canva a lot, but there are people in the collective who aren't as familiar, and it's been really great for you to just sit on Discord and like share over the shoulder stream. Canva does not suck, Purple. Okay, I know you guys have a hate relationship right now, but okay, I'm gonna take you to couples therapy, and it's gonna be okay. It really is.
I had a hard time with Canva, I have to say, when I first started out, but you get better the more you do it.
Yeah.
And Joe from Joe Simpson, she is one of our in our Discord group, Quilt Designers Collective. She and I get on there and we work simultaneously, and she's really good. Like, I'm not at that level yet. Someday I aspire to be her level.
She is quick. She's fantastic. But I think that comes with the fact that she's so comfortable with designing in general, because she's a fabric designer and she uses a lot of Adobe. So like Canva is like the little kid, the little toddler at the store when it comes to like design programs. So, you know, if you can make your way around Adobe then you guys are fine. You know what I mean?
Well, but sometimes if it's too simple, it's almost hard, because, you know, we're up there in that Adobe level, and then you go down a couple of steps and you're like, well,
I think that just comes with a new program in
general.
general, right? Like, you got a new interfacing, you've got new way. She is tech smart about designing things. I mean, yes, Joe is very tech smart. She is very smart. I am slowly bringing Joe to the streamer side. We've been talking about her streaming on Twitch, and I'm really excited about it. I think she would be a good personality for it. You know what I mean? She has that.
Yeah.
I mean, she used to be a teacher, so she has that great kind of mentality of, I want to teach you, come in, come learn, like, let's hang out, that kind of thing.
Yeah, she's fabulous. So, I mean, it's been great to be able to just shoot out a message. We're working, we're sharing our screen. If you want to come watch, ask questions, because I think that sometimes I would say, okay, pay attention here. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing.
Yep.
Why? And I think that it does help. I don't necessarily am giving a lesson. I'm just showing little bits that I think will be helpful.
In my brain, I keep trying to pronounce Sunny's name. I just got, like, I just went dead. I'm like, Sanunki? I think that's how, because I feel like, I feel so freaking bad when I can't pronounce things. I gotta pull my head out of like 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry. But yeah. I think making the Discord group has been the best decision I've ever done. Like dragging y'all kicking and screaming over to Discord. Like I cannot say enough about like if you're serious about community building and being a part of something, make a Discord. Like seriously. And again, it can feel overwhelming the first time you get in there and all these different options and all the different characters. Like there's so much you can do with it. And it feels overwhelming. But just like with everything else, you just slowly kind of plug away and kind of explore and like, okay, what does this do? Okay, what can I do here? Like there's a whole thing with Discord for threads. Like we could be making threads in our Discord. And I haven't even introduced that because like I don't even fully understand how they work because they're a new thing and like see there's so much. There's so much.
Well, we can learn together, baby. Let's learn together.
There's always so many like categories and things already. Could you imagine adding like extra threads on top of that? Like, holy moly, we'd be going down a rabbit hole for sure. Like,
it's one person pops off with something, and we all just pile on.
Ding. Yep.
I have to, when I'm at work, I have to shut the notifications off because it'll just be like, ping, ping, ping.
It just takes one good comment.
My clients are like, do you need to get that? Because it's blowing up. I'm like, no, I don't.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Before I get too distracted with the next topic we start talking about, does anybody in the chat have any questions for our designer, TJ? I'm gonna put it out there into the world. And oh, I did it again. I went and touched something on Discord because I saw Ping adding at me, and then I went and clicked it and it changed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not used to that. I'm used to being able to sneak onto Discord when I'm distracted with something and checking it. I know. I'm terrible. But yeah, so TJ, you've designed 5 patterns. You've done stitchscapes. What's next for you?
This year, I want to focus on being able to do some teaching, whether it be an online class or, maybe streaming. I don't know. I have a funny setup with my Wi-Fi or my internet at my house. So, where I don't have a hard wire upstairs to tap into, I'm only on Wi-Fi.
Right.
But those are things that can be remedied. Those aren't complete deal breakers, but so just continue to master what I've been working on this last year. I feel like I've just scratched the surface of it, and I'll continue to build on those things. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's. I'd love to. I mean, I've got a couple workshops scheduled for this year, but I'm by no means comfortable. It would be nice to be comfortable for those workshops. Another name that I'm gonna butcher really badly, Tiana. I think that's how you say your name. Is there any way to put the block together without hand stitching? Are you talking about the Curved Dreams block? Or are you talking about the English paper piecing block? Because the answer to that is yes, there are ways to do those. It's actually Tanya. See, look. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. The English paper piecing. Yes, so there is a way to do it. You can do it by machine if you are not a big hand stitcher. I know a lot of people have a hard time with their hands and their wrists, and it can be really exhausting. So what you can do, I'm working on the block actually in my lap, and I know TJ has hers too. So I haven't fully basted all of my units yet. But, yes. So when you baste, and I assume you're going to glue baste because of the hand stitching issue. So after you baste it all, I have 2 diamonds here that are ready. Okay, so when you're ready, you can put them together, and you can actually feed them through your sewing machine. Do a very tiny zigzag stitch. We have a couple friends who have been doing that because they don't have time and they want to make it really quickly. So all you have to do is kind of feed it together and just do a zigzag top stitch as you're going. You're going to want to do some tests to make sure they line up. If you have it available, if you haven't already cut out the cardstock and all that, I suggest getting a thin fusible that is like for embroidery, or like something like Hugs and Kisses, which is like more of a soft material, and it's not gonna like be such a pain in the butt to go through the papers. Because when you zigzag, you're going to kind of perforate your papers, and then you can still take them out. You're just going to be wanting to be very gentle with taking your papers out, that you don't rip the top zigzag, right? I hope that answers your question, and I hope that helps. I do the hand stitching personally. But yeah, I get really bad carpal tunnel in my hand. So I understand the idea of like not wanting to hand sew everything. So, yeah. But thank you for asking.
A terrific idea. That's a terrific idea. Never even occurred to me that you could do that. No?
Yeah, I have a friend, she actually is a streamer too. I don't know if she's streamed in a while. She's from the UK. Her name is Hexadoodle here on Twitch. And she designs English paper piecing patterns. And she's always cranking out the patterns. And we were talking the one day, I'm like, how do you get your English paper piecing out so fast? Because for me, an English paper piecing pattern takes a while, because I have the one that's going to be coming out in the spring here, and I'm hand sewing all of that.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I machine sew it. I just do a very tiny zigzag. I forget what she uses. I can't remember if she uses invisible thread or not, the monofilament, because then you don't see it as much. But for me, I wouldn't want to use that because of the fact I used to use monofilament all the time. I actually, the new Hexagon Milleflore, I was such a new sewer that I actually, you know how we sew the pieces together by hand, and we usually use like a white thread or whatever color? I was using a monofilament.
Oh.
Yeah. Because then it was like, because with the Milleflore, there's like 100 different colors, and trying to color match all that was nuts. So I'm like, I'm going to be tricky, and I'm going to use the clear thread. The problem is the monofilament cuts through material. So like all that work, and it's like ripping itself. Good night, ladies. Good night, Purple. You got to go fix your long arm. Oh, shit.
Good night, Jen. Oh, dang it.
Simon!
What's wrong with Simon?
No, wrong one. It's Lori.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, Lori.
Yeah. Her Twitch handle is Purple Peony Poppy. Yes. It's a lot. It's a mouthful, so I just call her Purple, which is hard because then we get Stitch, and, but yeah. Well, you'll have to let me know what's wrong with your machine, because, like, it's not... Why do you leave the paper in until after you sew? So the reason why I leave my paper in is because of the sharp corners, right? We're using our paper to be able to get these sharp corners and to be able to do Y seams without having to actually do Y seam work on our sewing machine, right? And if I baste it, and I go through my material, you can see. So, like, I can't take my paper out unless I cut my basting out. And if I do that, my whole thing's going to fall apart. Now, there are other basting techniques that you can do. But even if I glue it down and I take my paper out before sewing it together, it's just going to come apart. And then I'm not going to have the same kind of piece. You know what I mean? So, I keep it together until it's all done. And then, hold on. I've got another project I can show. Let me see. So this is kind of a sneak peek. So don't go posting it everywhere. But this is one of the projects I'm working on. And you can see It's already sewn together, all hand sewn, but you can see the back. And the papers are out. But I don't start taking the papers out until I finish like a unit around, right? Because then all of these points are sharp and they've stayed. And then I won't take the papers out completely until I'm all done. Like you can see I've already trimmed this down. I've taken a rotary cutter and I've trimmed it down to the final. So it doesn't matter if I've got little flappy doodles kind of flipping out everywhere, because like I'm going to be sewing these into the seam anyway. Because if I don't, if I didn't leave the papers in until this point, all of this would have just like been floating around, and then you lose that precision. You lose the precision that you get. So that's kind of like the big thing with English paper piecing, is you can get those really geometric formations without a lot of headache. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I hope that helps, Tanya. Yeah. So what do you think is your favorite technique so far, TJ, out of the Sprout?
Oh, well, we're only 2 weeks in, and I've been kind of testing as we are going through it.
Yeah, me too.
So I haven't explored, even though I know what's coming up.
Yes.
But I can't say anything.
Yes.
There are some of the blocks. Well, all the blocks are amazing.
Yes.
But I know there are going to be a couple that are going to really challenge me, and so I am looking forward to those challenges for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Adele's because I've never done that before. Her technique, I've never done that.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I've never done it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
I know, chat, we're being really super secret and we're not telling you what it is. Sorry. It's the way the cookie crumbles. I just love hanging out and sewing. That's like my favorite thing. Because I'm not part of a quilt guild anymore or anything, so I don't really get that social interaction with my sewing unless I'm like sitting in our sewing group or like, here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you have a favorite thimble that you like to use when you're doing English paper piecing?
I am so bad. I don't typically use a thimble, even though I should, because where I hold my needle, like I hold it in my second digit of my middle finger, and so my needle is constantly poking in on my finger. And for the longest time, I kept trying to use traditional thimbles, and even like the silicone rubbery type with the metal tips, like I liked those enough because I have chunkier little fingers, so it fit, you know what I mean? But it didn't go far enough down to actually stop myself from digging holes with my needles into my finger. But at H&H, you introduced me to the one import shop. Yeah, no, I don't use those. I use the leather one because it comes down all the way down to the second digit.
So these I put on my thumb because it helps me grip the needle. Yeah, so I use this for gripping. And then I have one that is like a wax denim.
Okay.
One. And then, but my favorite is this lambskin one.
Okay. Yeah, I have a version of that, but mine's a little different. I think it's lambskin leather, and I have the same kind of blue band, but it's bigger and it's on the underside, and it actually wraps kind of like a Band-Aid does around your finger. So mine's and I wore mine out from H&H, actually. So I had to go. Yeah, because I was doing so much hand sewing, so I actually had to go order a new one. And I could not find any local shops. I actually had to order from Scotland. I had to find an Etsy shop on Scotland to order it to have it come in. Because of the fact that import shop doesn't allow wholesale unless you're ordering like 500 of it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So not many people carry it.
I think the opening order is $500.
I think it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had amazing things, though,
They
didn't they?
did.
Oh,
I want to get my hands. Thank you for the help. See you next week, of course. Good night, Tanya. Thank you for coming by. But yeah, I would love to get my hands on those Japanese hand-spun needles. Like, they wouldn't even open the package for me to look at them, those turkeys. I have a feeling they weren't actually in there. I feel like if they actually had the product, they would have shown it. Because why wouldn't you show it?
I think that what they do is they order based on what we order.
It was either $500 or 500 pieces. I feel like it was 500 pieces. Because I feel like I remember us talking about it and it being like, holy shit, how much would that cost? And how would I get rid of 500 pieces of sewing needles?
Right. I know, but hand-made needles from Japan. I mean,
but I'm not a brick and mortar shop.
That's deluxe.
You know what I mean?
I know. That's deluxe.
That is super luxe. Like, I know there's some big money getting spent around the quilting community, but that's not me. Man, I tell you.
Oh, you know, when you consider a capital investment like that on actual hand sewing needles, just one thing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damn needles.
That is a lot of damn needles. Like, what kind of business do you have that you can be selling that in like a year maybe? Like, I feel like that much stock, I'd be holding on to that for like 10 years.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Sunoki.
That was it. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going back there. I'm going back there
for this time around?
Just for H&H, and I'm going to see what I can drum up.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the difference is this time around. Being it's a year later and there's been so much change. Because I feel like H&H really kind of kickstarted a lot of our careers. Like, we were heading in the right direction, but there's nothing like in person. Like, really kind of getting in touch with people. And I'm really curious to see what kind of response and kind of reactions we get now that we've kind of been around the block a little bit and kind of getting our names out there.
Right.
Are you going to be teaching another like little workshop like you did last year?
I'm really hoping to. I am planning. I'm going to reach out to them and see. Also, I'll be hopefully working with Valdani, and we're supposed to speak again next week. Yeah. So there will be some doors there, I think. Yeah. Because I don't know if any of the people that are on the stream have worked with Valdani threads. Wonderful product, wonderful people, so kind. Yeah. They've been terrific.
Yeah, that was a very fortuitous connection you made there. I'm really glad that that happened for you.
Yeah. Well, it's a product that I loved before I actually had the opportunity to represent them in Houston.
Right.
So that always helps, when you are passionate about a product and you believe in it before you actually present yourself to them. I didn't do it because it was an opportunity. I did it because I really, really like the product. So
did I tell you, speaking of like working with businesses like you are familiar with and stuff, I had never you guys know I love Aliso irons, and I have been touting their praises for a while because look at that beautiful iron behind me. It is like the Cadillac of irons, and I feel very lucky to have made a connection with them, and they're such lovely people. Like, really, truly lovely to work with. I have never worked with a brand that has just been so kind and just so down to earth and
Yeah.
so easy to work with. But when I approached them, you know, it was always one of those things that you always saw them on like the Saturday and Sunday morning quilt shows on PBS. Like that's what they were using on the shows. You saw how good of an iron it was. Like that was the idea of like for the big one it's $200. Like never in my dreams had I ever thought that I would own that iron. Because like that was not within my budget in my world of things. And you know, we've talked about this before, and we've talked a little I've talked a little on stream that, you know, I came from a very poor background, and you know, my mom did the best she could for us and all that kind of stuff. And I surprised her this Christmas, and I got her the large yellow Aliso Pro iron. And it was one of those things that she always wanted, and she never thought she could get, because you know, she's on disability and that kind of stuff, you know, it's not within her realm, right? And I was able to do that for her. I was able to buy one and give that for her for Christmas. And like, she kind of made me a little mad. I'm not gonna lie. She was like, she called me up on and we FaceTimed, and this was after she'd opened the present, and she was like, "Can I pay you for the iron?" And I looked at her and I'm like, "Did you just ask to pay for your Christmas present?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Because it's so expensive." And I'm like, "Uh-huh. But no, Mom, don't ask again. I will beat you up." Like, oh gosh. Like, she's just so sweet. But like, that was out of, like, you know how it is, out of everybody, she was always the first to encourage me. She's the one who got me into quilting, right? And even now, like, she's taking part in the Sprout Quilt Challenge. And
is she?
And
does she like it?
She is, and I've been trying to talk her into coming to our Zoom calls, because I want her to meet you guys. Like, I'm not gonna tell like, if she wants to introduce herself, she can. But like, she hears about you guys all the time because you're my friends, right? Right. And like, I love my mama. I'm not afraid to say I'm a mama's girl. Like, you know, the apple don't fall far from the tree. But yeah, so. Yeah, it was
That's cool.
Just one of those nice things that I was able to do, and I wouldn't have even thought of doing that if it hadn't been for like meeting them at H&H. And I didn't get to bring all my iron. But you know, they've been fantastic, and they're one of the sponsors for Sprout, so I'm gonna keep touting their praises, because I'm really a big fan. Yeah. And
they are very kind company and very generous, and a wonderful sponsor for Sprout. So they've actually given multiple things for our giveaway for Sprout, and so Yep.
Well, and I worked with them for Pedal Dance, and we did that big giveaway too. And you know, the fact that I'm a smaller designer, I wasn't necessarily on their radar, and they still worked with me. And they didn't just like work with me and like toss me like a little coupon no. They did, like, they showed up big time and supported. And I think that's just like part of their spiel, you know what I mean? They are a small mom and pop company that feel like a huge company. Right? Does that make any sense?
Right. Well, I would say that part of their brand is connecting with quilters. And if you can show up in that place, then it makes it easier for people to talk about your brand. Yeah. Because that's how we feel about them. Yeah.
And I'm totally not so like sucking up because I want one of those new Tula pink irons or anything.
Oh. Yeah, those are pretty fabulous, aren't they?
I love the fact that on the bottom of the large one it says "Don't feed the fishes." Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, that just like
Yeah.
I love that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I love that quirky humor.
Yeah. Very creative, and yeah. They went all in on that one for
They
sure.
did. They really
I
did.
I hope at some point to pick up that new mini iron that they have.
Oh yeah, that's been
Uh,
sold out. Like the pre-sales went, and that went out fast.
Is it?
Yeah, I might be in stock now, but I haven't really looked. I had just gotten their other small iron right before they announced the new one, so I'm like, well, maybe in a couple years I'll get another one, because like
Yeah.
I could say I need another iron, but it isn't a pair of scissors. I don't need 20 irons. I need 20 scissors.
Yeah.
But
my girlfriend Jeannie is the queen of scissors. You've never seen so many scissors before in your life. She has a thing about scissors.
Man, I have a thing for pretty scissors.
And she doesn't just order like one. If she finds something that she likes, she buys like a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Well, and like, me, I have my fabric scissors, and they're the Tulip Pink hardware, and I love them. But then at Quilt Market, the people that we are sponsored with for scissors on this challenge, I think actually they're the prize. One of the prizes this week, one of the sponsors this week is the LDH scissors. Yeah. Have you seen their black scissors?
I've seen them.
Oh my gosh, I was holding them. I actually picked up, these are some LDH applique scissors. I know you can't see on the stream, but that's what I've been using lately is, and you guys see, they're squishy. The handles are squishy. So like, I can be using this for hours and not like get hand cramps. Because, like, that's one of the things when I'm cutting, especially, like, my tiny, like, the butterfly has tiny, itty-bitty little pieces. And, like, sometimes you get a little cramped, but these have been really nice. They're really nice. So, shout out to our sponsors.
Yes.
Yep. I actually got to meet them and talk a little more at Market, and this is where I'm totally terrible at names, but I met the wife of the pair that are like running the company, and she was very pregnant. I think she's had the baby. Yeah. And I had asked them, are you guys coming to H&H? Because I would like to, see people I've met and kind of keep that connection. And they were really thinking about it, but the mom was there to help out, and she's like, yeah, I probably won't be there. My mom will probably go because I'll have a little baby at home. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Because, like, when I say she was pregnant, she was really pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, even for somebody who's in good shape, to go to one of those shows is so hard on your body. I can't imagine doing it pregnant.
No, I couldn't either. Well, and especially, like, for you and I, we were walking around. Yeah, we were in booths for a good chunk of it, but we were still walking a lot. For her, she was in the booth, like, 24/7, talking to customers and things. Like, I feel like that's the worst, is just having to stand there and not really moving very much. Like, that's when I get stiff. Like, if I can walk around and stretch and just keep moving, it's not so bad. But when I have to stand in place, oh man, that's the end right there. Kind of like when we, the first day of Schoolhouse, we were walking and doing all this stuff, and then we went and stood in line for 2 hours for Spree.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That was the worst. That's when I was dead. It was like, all right, I've stood in one place. I haven't really moved. I haven't sat. My feet are killing me. Like, this big old booty takes a lot of energy to hold up.
Yeah. Well, I stand for, that's what I do. So standing is totally fine. It was just all the walking and I work out and stuff. You wouldn't think that would be a problem, but I was beat,
Yeah.
just beat every night.
Those trips seem crazy.
So
You're not kidding, Chica. They are freaking bananas. Okay? But they're so much fun. Like, on average, I was getting like 20 to 30,000 steps a day. That's how much you're moving and grooving and just going. And it's just, it's adrenaline. You're really just kind of pumping on adrenaline.
Yeah. Well, and it's like shiny crow syndrome, too. Like, you go in one direction and then you have something that you're planning on doing, and next thing you know, you have done a 360 and you're now looking at something totally different. And you're like, how did I end up here?
Well, and it's one of those things where you've gone up and down the aisles. I know I tried to hit every booth, at least walk by and like be observant of it. And I swear, I went up and down like 3 or 4 times, but there were still places that I came across on the last day. Like, I thought I'd seen everything. This is totally new. Like, holy shit.
Right.
They are crazy, and I didn't even spend much time on the floor. Worked from the hotel room most of the trip to H&H. Yeah, Oshemi was kind of overwhelmed by all the shinies too. And honestly, this next trip to H&H, I'm gonna be really sad not having him with us.
No.
Well, somebody's got to watch the kids because it's so early in the year.
Oshemi, we're not gonna get to share dessert. What?
Nope. Nope.
Oh.
I'm sad, honestly. Like, if I could find a way to like have somebody watch the kids, but like, because it's earlier in the year and it's
old enough to watch themselves at this point.
One is 3. No. The 11-year-old is mature enough that she could probably handle it, but she's 11, so no.
No, okay.
I mean, I would love to be able to have.
I'm a dog mom. I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, but you do know. You do know though, because like with your dogs, if you and your husband were leaving and you couldn't take your dogs, you'd have to find a sitter or someone to watch the house or a kennel. It's the same kind of thing.
Right.
Like, I gotta find somebody to watch the kids.
But you can't take your kids to the kennel.
No, but you can take them to grandma's, but it takes you 37 hours to get there.
That's true.
Right? Like,
right.
Not doing that again. If we did anything like that, but the thing is like my ticket's already booked, so we couldn't do something like this. But it'd be like, all right, let's fly up to where his parents are, drop the kids off, and then go. But because H&H is earlier in the year this year, to make it easier on business owners, it's harder on us single, or not single, but like small business owners with kids, because the kids are still in school, right? So like, my kid can't miss school, not for that long, right? She could, but like, she misses enough as it is, you know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
So like, my in-laws would have to come down and watch the kids from here, which they just got a motorhome, so it's not out of the possibility. But they just came out for Thanksgiving, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to sweet talk them to come out to watch the kids, you know.
It's a half a year away.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the big thing that would probably change Oshemi's mind and really make him want to go, between you and me, is if we were in the position of looking seriously at a long arm machine. Because, like, we're seriously talking about it. Because he's seriously thinking about that Innova. He really is, like, drooling at the bits. I'm drooling at the bits for him to get it.
Yeah.
My mom would, but you're already sharing the room. I mean, I'm sure we can make arrangements. Like, TJ could book with Amanda, and you and I could get a room if you were actually going to come. Because it's early enough that we could do something like that, Mr. Oshemi. And I'm sure TJ would bite the bullet to see you come out so she could have dessert with you again.
Yes. Yes.
So just putting it out there, Mr. Oshemi.
Yeah.
Because I would love...
You were kind of like You were like our security.
Yes.
You were our security.
Well, and let me tell you this.
You,
You know, for those who don't know Ashemi, he is a very tall guy, big person like I am, but he's bald with a goatee, right? So he can kind of come off as a little intimidating. But for most of the show, I had him in a Hawaiian D20 shirt. Okay, so he looked fabulous, and I think you were wearing the Deadpool shirt underneath too, so it was like perfect. And Oshemi's lost a lot of weight between you and me, TJ. Yeah, he's like down 2 sizes in shirts. Yeah. But anyway, hey, listen, I know you're only 6 feet, but that's tall to me. I'm short, okay? So let me call you tall. Shut up. Anyway, the manager of my contact at my distributor, when I saw her at market, asked me where my partner was. She remembered Oshemi. She was looking for him. And she was kind of disappointed that he wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah. So he makes an impression. And not just because it looks really good when I have somebody walking around with my camera to do all my work.
Yeah.
Like I'm big time, real time there.
Oshemi, like I could put a word in with your mom and your dad and say something. I'll come up with something good.
Yeah, see, it'll be a business trip. It's a recruitment trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna go take care of very special cargo.
Yeah.
Person.
Very big cargo, right? MVP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm VIP.
VIP MVP.
I'm a VVPIP.
A VVP? What is VVP? What does that mean?
Very, very important person.
Oh, it's a double very. Okay, I got you. Muy importante. Oshemi and I have been doing Duolingo, so we're trying to learn Spanish. It's really cute, honestly. Like I took Spanish in high school, and I failed my first year of Spanish because I'm not very good at it. Right? Yeah, I had to take it again. But my daughter is adorable. Right? She's in 5th grade. And she's the hugest nerd you'll ever find. Like, she makes me go, okay, kid, that's enough Pokemon talk for now. And I never thought I'd say that in my life, okay? Because I'm, like, the hugest nerd. Okay? She has a student who was a brand new student to the school sit at her table at the beginning of the year, and they bonded immediately. They'd like to draw little Yoshis and all that kind of stuff. And the problem... not necessarily a problem, but the big roadblock for them communicating is it was his first year in the United States. He's from Mexico originally. Like his parents know English and all of that other stuff, but like for him, English isn't his first language, and so he's been learning slowly, but it's been a barrier. And she was so sweet. She even invited him to her birthday party. You know what I mean? Because, like, he's her friend, right? And it's great.
Right.
And she's like, Mom, I want to learn Spanish so I can talk with Delon and we can talk more and, like, make it easier. I'm like, okay, kid, let's do this. So we bought some books, like the Spanish for Dummies and all that. And this year, you know, she's in 5th grade. She's getting older. And, you know, I got my first phone back in high school. You know, because it was a new thing then and all that other stuff. And, like, I was in after-school curricular, so it makes sense, right? But she's been showing her responsibility and her maturity. So this year for Christmas, we got her a phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah. So she's got her phone, and she's learning Duolingo with us. So we're making it like a family thing, and it's the cutest thing ever because I'll sit and I'll do my little Spanish lesson on my phone, and my son, he's only 3, he'll sit and he goes, Mom, are you learning Spanish? I'm like, yeah. I want to learn. And so he'll sit with me, and like Yeah, it's just the cutest little thing. He's not really picking anything up
Aw.
yet, but it's like it's becoming like a family thing, and it kind of is like a nice little
That's neat. I like
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
like it.
Oshami says, not sure we can handle the extra cost right now unless you get a huge influx of orders. Wink, wink. You're funny. You're funny. Hey, honestly, we've been doing really well this year, and with Sprout and everything else, and HelloFresh being our sponsor again this year, there's a possibility if everything works out really well, So don't count your chickens before they're hatched. You don't know what the future's gonna hold. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus, if TJ's involved,
But
she's gonna get up to some sneaky shit.
But you know what's gonna be involved in my future is for me to go to bed.
Oh, it's getting late for you. It is 10 o'clock, chat. We've been going for 2 hours. If anyone else has any last minute questions, throw them out there now, because TJ's got work in the morning. She is a very busy businesswoman. She runs 2 businesses. Yeah. She owns and operates 2 businesses. Like, talk about powerhouse, okay? TJ is like... But thank you so much, TJ, for coming on the stream and hanging out. And
thanks for having me.
It's always such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Like, I love these kind of like deep dives and kind of just hanging out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll see you on Thursday at Joe's Zoom.
Yeah, well, and on Wednesday, Susan is going to be on talking about her English paper piecing blog.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So we've got a full week. We got stream on Wednesday, we've got the Zoom on Thursday, and Zoom on Saturday. So
Saturday.
I'm going to throw that link. If you guys are in the chat and you are not part of Sprout, there's the link. You have plenty of time to still sign up. If you sign up, you'll get last week's blocks and this week's blocks instantaneously, no waiting, and you can catch up with us and just join the community. It's been really fantastic. We're up to like 400 plus people taking part in Sprout. It just boggles my mind, and I am just so proud of all the work we've all done. And you guys, I know TJ's not gonna like talk too much about it, but she really, like, all that amazing Instagram stuff, that's all TJ and Joe. They busted their butt and they've made some amazing assets for us. Like, this whole project has been a team effort, and I'm just so proud of our team. So yeah, but thank you so much, TJ, for coming and hanging out with me.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll see you soon. Thanks to everybody who's joined us.
Yeah. Night, TJ.
Night.
But yeah, that was TJ, guys. I hope you love her as much as I do. She's a fantastic person, a mentor, and all of that. And thank you all for hanging out and sewing and chatting with us. And for all the new subs and the new follows. You guys, I love streaming. This is what I love about it, is being able to build a community and be able to answer your guys' questions and talk about all this kind of stuff. It makes me so happy. And thank you for the follow, Louise Glert. I'm sorry if I am butchering that, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it very much. We will be back. We get 3 streams this week. We did tonight with TJ, Susan, who's done the English, Louise. Okay. Gotcha. We'll have Susan on Wednesday. She designed the English paper piecing block. If you're part of Sprout, keep an eye out on your email for the Zoom links. We'll have those Zoom community calls Thursday night and Saturday morning. And then I will also be back on stream on Friday. We'll be doing our normal hanging out and doing quilty stuff. I will have a special blog. If you're part of Sprout, I have a free pattern. I think I have it somewhere around here. I brought it down. But there'll be a filler block that's a free part of the pattern, so keep an eye on that. That'll go out in the email and it'll be on my blog. I want to just do the sellouty thing one more time. We are partnered with HelloFresh. Again, this is our 2nd year in a row. So if you are a quilter, a mom, whatever, and you are just like rather be in the sewing room instead of out grocery shopping and just running out of time, HelloFresh has been such a lifesaver for me, especially with the holidays and everything going on with Sprout. I have not had the energy at the end of the night to make anything, so I have been having to do a lot of takeout, and I get the mom guilt. Okay, I get the mom guilt for feeding my kids takeout way too much and pizza. We're doing pizza again tomorrow night, and I'm so over it. My HelloFresh box will be in like next week, I think, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, guys, thank you everyone for coming out and being a part of the stream. I appreciate y'all, and I love you so much. And I will see you guys Wednesday. Night, guys.